and thousands of Second Amendment advocates showed up in Richmond, Virginia today to support their right to keep and bear arms. And true to form, liberals in the media have labeled them all white supremacists.
There are new fears tied to a pro-gun rally that's scheduled in Virginia.
Governor Ralph Northam declaring a state of emergency after learning armed militias and hate groups plan to join the protest.
Monday's rally could be a repeat of what happened in Charlottesville in 2017.
Because apparently they're still too lazy to come up with a better argument. Now, then again, this is the same group of people who have trouble with the simple phrase, shall not be infringed. So really, what can you expect? Thousands of people descended upon the Virginia capital of Richmond Monday morning to protest Governor Ralph Blackface Northam
I darkened my face
and his fellow Democrats for their plans to launch an all-out assault on the Second Amendment. Among the bills they've promised to put forward are a one handgun per month purchase limit, universal background checks, and dangerous red flag laws that could strip people of their constitutional rights without due process. Democrats have also pledged to introduce an assault weapons ban, which, as anyone with even a modicum of basic gun knowledge knows, is a ban on all scary black boom boom guns that the left could not accurately define if you paid them, which unfortunately is exactly what is happening. Now, this so-called assault weapons ban would include AR-15s, the most popular sporting rifle in the country that is already owned by tens of thousands of Virginians. So that's what all of these folks showed up to protest. This all-out attack on their constitutional right to keep and bear arms. And of course, they got labeled as a bunch of neo-Nazis for their trouble, which frankly is incredibly assaulting to the black gun owners who showed up. Here are some.
This is a white supremacist event, and so, yeah, they're not going to, cover that there's black people here, but rally.
racist here today, bro.
Yeah, this grandma drove from South Carolina.
I'm so mad my phone store just got full right before all that.
But at least people. The weird thing is, this is supposed to be a white supremacy event, but
I mean, I think you identify as a white supremacist.
I identify as a white
supremacist.
But then again, Virginia's governor is a blackface-wearing Democrat, so clearly they've tossed that baby out with the bathwater.
You know, if a guy in blackface standing next to a guy in a hood tells me I need to give up my guns, I think we got a problem, right?
See, for liberals, it is so much easier to just call someone a racist than to actually have a fact-based, logical discussion about firearms, because they would lose. They can't refute the fact that there are currently over 310 million guns in circulation in the United States, and yet less than 0.003% of them have ever been used in a homicide. That's about one murder per every 28,000 guns. They can't deny that according to CDC data, you're about 2.5 times more likely to die from a fall, 3 times more likely to die in a car accident, and 4 times more likely to die from the flu than you are of being shot to death. They can't refute the fact that there are an estimated 5 to 10 million AR-15s in the U.S., and yet fewer than 300 people were murdered using a rifle in 2018. That's including all rifles, not just ARs. They can't refute the fact that murders using firearms have dropped by more than 30% in the past 25 years, even as the gun ownership rate has risen by more than 50%. They can't argue with the fact that the vast majority of gun violence in the United States is perpetrated in Democrat-controlled cities with some of the strictest gun control laws in the nation. They can't argue with any of this. Facts are not partisan. They're just facts. And they are not on the left side. So what do they stoop to? Calling people Nazis. See, when they can't win an argument with information, they attack with slander. Never mind that Joe the Hunter just wants to be able to shoot deer and protect his family and be left the heck alone, and you don't have a good argument for taking his AR. Just call him a racist and the media will drool all over it. You want to know why white supremacy is suddenly all over the headlines? It's not because we have any more loser skinheads burning homemade crosses in their grandma's backyard than we did before. It's because the left has become too lazy to craft a better argument. So now everyone that they don't like is a Nazi. Trust me, if Virginia had that many white supremacists, you would know it. At a minimum, 99% of all of today's protesters in Virginia were ordinary people who simply want to defend their constitutional rights, because apparently the words "shall not be infringed" are just too dang complicated for some people to understand. So you can call them racists all you want, and that might make you left, but it sure as heck doesn't make you right. And that's your Reality Check America. And if you like this shirt, head on over to the MRC store for this and so much more pro-America stuff. And as always, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.